Hello everybody, it's Mike here at Games from Scratch, and we have another humble bundle of interested game developers, and this one is very unique. In fact, this one, I didn't even realize it was for game developers at first. I actually thought this was physically about creating your own card games. But no, this is about creating your own computer card games. This is a bunch of assets from both the Unity Asset Store and the GameDev Marketplace, all from the same person, so your art style is consistent, but this is all about what you need to create your own card game, in theory anyways. Now, a lot of these assets could be used for other style of games, and the nice thing is you do get a consistent art style. So without further ado, let us jump in. Now, if you don't know, humble bundles are basically a collection of stuff, in this case game assets around the theme of cards. You can decide how your money is allocated. You can have some of it go to Humble, you can have some of it go to the producer or the publisher in the first place, have some of it go to charity, and if you so choose, and thanks to you if you do, to help support Game from Scratch. So let's jump in and take a look. Now, as always, I have purchased this bundle, so if you want to know any details about what's inside of it, I have it. I can check it out for you, but let's look at what you get. Now, Humbles are all broken down into tiers. You buy the $1 tier, you get everything at the $1 tier. You buy the next dollar tier, which I think is $12 in this case, you get everything at that tier and at the $1 tier, whereas if you buy the $20 tiers, you get everything. So let's look at what you get at the $1 tier. You get pet cards, you get the wooden card template, you get the quest journal, you get the strategy game icons. Like I said, some of this could actually be used just in games, not necessarily in computerized card games. Tabletop tokens. So again, if you're creating just an RPG style game, some of these icons could be useful to you. Coin icons, and then the RPG professional badges. Next up, we go up to the $16 tier, and you'll see here you get loot cards, mobs, avatar icons, race badges. By the way, you can click any of these and get a little bit more detail. You're not getting a ton in this particular case, but I'll show you how to get a little bit more information after the fact. We got clan shields, the yellow card template, the green card template, magic badges, RPG class badges, fantasy banners, item cards, steampunk anime avatars, monster avatar icons, and then fantasy badges. And then finally, at the $20 tier, you get and this is where the real meat of it is. They're trying to push you into the most valuable tier, because this is where you get straight out templates. So you get card designs right here. You get card packs, so example cards done. Fantasy characters right here. Fantasy anime avatars, creature cards, blue card templates, red card templates, sci-fi card templates, magic cards pack, tabletop badges, tabletop terrain, so that also could be useful if you were doing a strategic style game. And then we got map tiles, like hexagonal map tiles. So again, even if you aren't creating a card game, actually these two are just straight out useful for any style of RPG game or strategy tile game. We got the fantasy card back. This is the one I used for the art for the actual thumbnail for this image, for this video. The avatars mega pack, the badges mega pack, and game tokens. In this case, the charities supported are the V Foundation and Prevent Cancer. So that is what you get. It's kind of straightforward. Now, you might be wondering how, if you purchase it, what do you actually get? And here's how it works. You get a giant collection of zip files. All of this is from Rexart. Now, there's something really interesting going on. Right here, it says, assets in this bundle may contain an extended license that allows you to develop your own digital or physical card games. For more details, refer to the Unreal Engine EULA. Okay, so that is kind of hilarious, because look down here as I scroll through these. So I'm going to do a mouse over, and you're going to see GameDevMarket, 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 Unity Asset Store, GameDevMarket, 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 Asset Store, GameDevMarket, GameDevMarket, Asset Store, one Unreal Engine one right here. Unreal Engine. Okay, so there are a couple more Unreal Engines than I thought, but for the most part, most of this stuff is from the Asset Store, the GameDev Marketplace, and the Unity Asset Store. So it's from kind of all over the place, but it really doesn't matter because you're getting access to it right here. Now, in terms of licenses, we've actually seen these in the past. The GameDev Marketplace allows you to use it in commercial games. The Unity Marketplace allows you to use it in commercial games. And the Unreal Engine Marketplace allows you to use it in commercial games. And the only real criteria that Unreal Engine has a little bit different is if it's from Epic Games, you can only use it with Unreal Engine. So in this case, you'll be able to use it with whatever engine you want. So even though something shows up here in the Unity Marketplace, you can still use it in the Godot game engine or with Construct 3 or GDevelop or whatever game engine you choose to use there. There's no limitations in that regard. Now, you may be wondering, what exactly do you get when you have these assets? So first off, if you come in here, you'll see these are all clickable, and you can actually go, these are all assets off of various different marketplaces marketplaces you see here. For example, this one is off the Game Dev Marketplace, and then this one is off the Unity Asset Store. So you can see the original values of them. You can learn a little bit more information on any one of these from their original asset stores. But really, that doesn't really matter all that much because they are available directly for download right here from Humble. And the cool thing about Humble is their servers are reasonably fast, and so you can come back here and download them anytime you want, as many times as you want. So you can basically use Humble as your own version of storage if you so wish. And so I grabbed an example one. Here's the Fantasy Cards pack, and you see it's just a giant collection of PNG files of various different cards they've implemented with high quality art assets. And some of this other stuff you got instead. So blue card template will, oops, I did not mean to click that side. Let's go back over here. What I actually meant to do is click the zip file. We'll download that guy, and we'll just open it up. And there you see, so that was an 18 meg download that we just did basically instantly. And you see here the PNGs, the final versions you're going to get, so like so. But the cool thing is here, in a lot of cases, you're also getting the PSD or the Photoshop files. So if you want to go ahead and modify, so we're looking here at a 12 megabyte file. Obviously, I don't have, PSD is generally Adobe Illustrator. I don't have Adobe Illustrator, but a number of programs can handle PSDs, including, as you can see, the excellent Affinity Designer, which is loading it up right now and hopefully is not going to fail me, because I just finished saying how excellent it is. All right, there we go. So here, see, you've got an actual template to work with. It's split into various different layers. So if you want to modify the cards, so say you wanted this to be green instead, you can literally swap that out, put your own image in place. Again, if you wanted to move this around. So it is a building kit for creating your own card style games, broken into various different layers there. And again, this should be openable. PSD files, there's a lot of open source programs. Inkscape should be able to handle this, for example. And again, heavy duty plug, Affinity Designer, awesome program. Check it out if you haven't. I've already done a video on it. So back to the program at hand. We got a number of different assets here, a different variety and requirements. Now, the one I'm going to check out before we move on is I want to go see that Hex Pack. So where are you, Hex Pack? Tabletop badges, tabletop terrain. All right, so there, we got the Hex Pack. And I think this is one that could be very useful. I clicked the wrong side again. All right, let's go on back there and we'll actually open it up. So map tiles, zip. So 93 megabyte zip, we'll open that now. So this is the kind of speed you get from Humble in terms of a 100 megabyte file. Still downloading, there we go. So again, if you want to store your stuff there, it's pretty reasonable. So here you got all the tiles available here in a single PSD file at 90 megabytes in size to open. So I'm not going to do that. That's going to take a little bit of time. But here you can see some of the tiles that are there. So we've got autumn, desert, ice, lava, nature, and water. So if you wanted to create your own hexagraphic map, and then we got the same deal here for that tile map. That's this one right here. Let's open that guy up and go. So 25 megabytes opened instantly. So again, they have some pretty good speed going on. And here we go, a PSD for all of the tiles. Let's open that guy up. Hopefully, since we've already got this open, it's going to open pretty quickly. Oh, so they've split it all into different layers. So you see, oh, they've done it by visibility. That's a very weird way to set things up. So everything here is, they've got all of the stuff in a single PSD, but layered base. So you're not really be able to edit this per se, because these are actually all just basically sprite images. I don't really know what the PSD purpose would be, to be honest. But anyways, you can see what you're dealing with. You've got very high resolution versions of it. So if you wanted to make this, 32 by 32 or 64 by 64, you can easily do so. This guy is, actually, I don't know what resolution that is. I don't know how to easily find out either. So I'm going to leave that alone. But this looks to be pretty good resolution, at least. It's well beyond 512 by 512, I think. So it's adaptable to just about any kind of game. So if you want to work with an editor like Tiled or something, this tile set could be useful for you as well. So there is stuff in here that goes beyond just collectible card games, but obviously that is the theme here. And that kind of brings us to the end. That is the, what the heck did they call this thing? The Make Your Own Card Game. It's kind of a misleading name because there are the other assets in there, but do be, of course, aware that things are based on the license of the underlying store and it is split across 3 different stores. But we've had bundles from every single one of these providers, and there's no real gotchas that I can particularly think of. Looking at this again, the $1 tier looks borderline useless unless you're just looking for some icons in general. The second tier, well, you've got card templates here. Now, this is kind of lazy because you could literally swap between colors between these in seconds, but you got 2 different color templates going on there. Avatar icon pack. This one's actually huge. And then fantasy badges again, but really the meat of it is here. So where you got fantasy characters, the cards, the different packs you saw there. different templates for blue and red going on here. And again, those two map icon ones that I think in some ways those are probably the two most useful. And then you've got a whole bunch of art that they've predefined. Now the catch is you're going to run into the sameness if anybody uses this in a professional game, of course, because art like pixel art like this stands out so much. But stuff like these icons and tokens and such, this could be used in interface or toolbars, and it would look quite fitting as long as it fit your art style. And then again, that's another nice thing about this pack is that everything here is from Rexard. So that ultimately means that everything is going to look in a consistent art style. So once again, if you want to drill down for a little bit more information on any of these things, so for example, this guy right here, the Rexard link brings you to the GameDev Marketplace for it. Whereas this guy right here, the Rexard link brings you to, okay, they're all GameDev Marketplace so far. That's going to be annoying. All right, give me one that isn't GameDev. Oh, there we go. So we got a choice between the Unity Asset Store or the GameDev Marketplace. So if you want to learn more details about any of these particular things, you can drill down and get more information that way. All right, so that is it. That is a very interesting GameDev bundle that I had no idea that it was actually for game developers. And it's actually shockingly good in some ways if you are looking for art out there. Of course, you got to watch out for that sameness factor. But if you're looking to prototype, oh my goodness, we are spoiled for assets and packs out there these days. So let me know what you think of this one in general, what you think of this pack, if it's worthwhile to you. Do you like the art style they are working with? And also let me know, since I own this thing, if there's anything in there particular that you want me to show you a little bit more information on, or tell you, what's inside of it if you can't drill down and get that information yourself. Let me know. I'll look it up for you and get back. All right, that's it. Talk to you all later. Goodbye.